My name is Mina Tomizawa. I married my husband Yuya 3 years ago. We don't have kids right now, but I'm juggling being a housewife while working some part-time jobs. It's pretty busy, but things were great between us. What? Again?
Come on! Rie needs help!
No, you need to tell her no. That was until Yuya's sister, Rie, moved nearby. If you said yes, then you need to do it. I'm not going to look after Yuka, period.
But I already said yes! I'm sorry that I didn't ask you before, but I felt so bad for Yuka.
Like I said, if you want to say you feel so bad, then she should be given over to your parents' house. Why are you moving things along under the assumption that I'm gonna just say yes and take care of her?
That's not how it is. Come on, Mina. Please?
My sister-in-law's married, but she lived far away until recently. This year, my niece, Yuka-chan, has started kindergarten and my sister-in-law moved close to her house. She must be thinking that our household is just a free Uber or babysitting service because she just kept asking us for help. Maybe my husband wanted to act like the big tough brother, but he always looked after her and never turned her down. The problem started when he started pushing it onto me. We've been arguing over this ever since. He just pushes it onto me because he's got work. First, he needs to talk to me about it, and if he doesn't, then I'm going to turn it down with no exceptions. How many times do I have to tell him?
You're so mean! You realize that Rie is also your sister and Yuka's your niece, right?
I heard from your mom that she was wandering around, asking people to look after her child, and people hated that. I'm no different. In conclusion, I'm not going to do it. I heard what she had done at her old house from my mother-in-law, so I took a strict no-touch policy. My husband was saying how he felt so bad, but apparently he was going to turn it down because I wouldn't accept. The next night...
Yeah, sorry. My wife is so useless. She's just kind of cold, and I honestly might consider divorcing her.
He was talking out loud to make sure I heard. He wanted me to hear the words divorce. What the hell is that shit-eating smirk? I'm gonna throw this soapy water on your face, you little... Honestly, if this was going to keep up, I honestly had to consider divorce. He kept looking over at me, smirking, and I was just getting angrier and angrier. One day... I'm sorry I didn't hear you, so can you tell me again?
I said, can you make bento for my niece every morning and deliver it by 7:30 a.m. to her?
He started spewing nonsense again.
Rie said she can't wake up every morning, you know? But she has to make bento for Yuka. You can just make another bento with mine. It's small, no big deal, right?
Are you seriously suggesting that making bento isn't a big deal? Did you forget that I work 5 times a week part-time?
I said, you can just make an extra bento. Your part-time job doesn't start till 10, so you'll make it in time.
You want me to make 2 people's worth of bento every day, drive over to their house every morning by 7:30 a.m., drive back, go to my part-time job, buy food for dinner, make dinner. You realize how much stress that adds to me? Come on, think a little bit.
I have a little food left over from my bento. You just use a little bit left over from mine to make hers. Besides, you love to cook. You'll get used to it.
Why doesn't she cook for her own child? It's literally her own daughter.
She's tired from raising her child and household chores, you know? Just take it on. You'd be doing her a service.
You always say helping out and caring, but you never help yourself. You always just push it on to me. How are you gonna pretend you care? Your parents live by. Ask your mom.
Mom isn't really good at cooking, so she didn't want to ask.
Whatever. I'm not doing it. You need to tell her that she needs to take care of her own household. Besides, this whole thing is a bonding experience. She's really okay with me taking her important memories with her own child.
You better watch your attitude. If you keep this up and reject her suggestions all the time, I have my own plans too.
Okay, tell me what your little plans are.
I don't need this cold and ruthless wife. I'm thinking of divorce.
Uh-huh.
You can't have me divorce you like that, right? So you have to obey me, your husband.
Let me think about it.
Yeah, you think about it. I expect an answer I'm going to be satisfied with.
He seemed so proud of himself, feeling like he had just won. I went to the bedroom to remove myself from his presence. I'm sure he probably thought that I was scared of the words divorce. That couldn't be further from the truth. Okay, how am I gonna destroy that sister-loving moronic man? Divorce? Bring it on. My parents live super close, so I can just run to them if I can't stay here. It's no problem for me. But first, I need to make him understand how insane his suggestions are. I thought about everything I could say and do and came up with something. The next day. About what you said yesterday. I can take it on.
Really? Then you could have just said that from the begin-
But under certain conditions. If you accept, then I will listen.
What are the conditions?
I want you to go to my parents' house and clean their bath by 7:30 in the morning.
What? Why do I-
It's a trade-off. I've already spoken to my parents about this.
I'm going to do that before I go to work?
My parents' house is on the way to your work. Just swing by before work.
But-
If you want to turn this down, then I'm going to turn your offer down. If you want your lovely sister to get what she wants, you need to put yourself in the line of fire too.
Fine, I'll clean the bath. But you better do your part too. You got it?
He was complaining, but the second I brought his sister into it, he folded. The next day, I made the bento just like I promised, and he went by my parents' house to clean as he promised. I was ready to draw this out, but it really didn't take long before he gave up. That night, he came home and immediately apologized to me.
I'm sorry, I was wrong. I'll tell my sister that you can't do this.
What's going on? It's literally the first day. According to what he said, he didn't expect to actually have to clean, but my mom was no pushover. She forced him to clean the bath till you could eat off of it. He must have thought it was easy, but apparently it was harder than he thought. I mean, it makes sense. I've been delivering food every day that is easy to make. I totally get it. If you think it's just bento, then you should be able to handle your cleaning.
She chewed me a new one. She just kept telling me about how terrible I was at cleaning.
I see. Then you call Rie-san right now about the bento. He called his sister immediately, and I could hear her voice from the speakers screaming at him. He turned her down, though. I'm sure my niece wants to eat her own mom's cooking, and I felt bad for her, so I'm glad that things ended quickly.
Okay, things are going to go back to normal.
No way, you're going to go clean tomorrow too.
Why? I turned her down!
What? Because I'm just a cold, ruthless wife. I'm useless and mean. I can't think about how much extra work it would be for you to go by my house before you go to work.
You're still dragging that on?
Yeah, of course. If you don't want to go, then you need to sign these papers. I had the divorce papers ready and he was in shock.
What? Are you serious? Over this?
The fact that you think that this isn't a big deal means that you're going to do this again. I've been getting tired of this every time it gets brought up. I'm going to bust this out the second you make me try to do something for your sister again.
You think that you can live off of your own earnings if we get a divorce?
My parents' house is close and I can totally find a new job. I know that Rie-san was the one that told you to use divorce as a tool for compliance. How are you going to let her manipulate you like that? What are you going to do? You either sign the papers and hand them over, or you keep cleaning every morning. You always like moving your body. You'll get used to it.
I'll go clean tomorrow, too.
He kept cleaning at my parents' house. Honestly, this was just revenge. If he had just apologized to me and come clean, I would have let it go. 2 weeks later, he came home from work and begged for forgiveness.
I'm so sorry for saying and doing things that made you feel bad. I'm sorry for using blackmail to try to make you listen. Please forgive me. I thought that I could just let you handle it. I was trying to push it all on you. I realize now how much I was wrong. I'm sorry. I don't want to divorce you. I want to keep working hard to be a worthy man for you.
Fine, I forgive you. I understand that you feel bad. If you do it again, I won't bring up divorce.
Thank you, Mina.
If she asks you for a favor again, I'll just ask you for a different favor too.
What?
Huh? My mom said she wanted to start her own home garden, and my dad was complaining that his car was dirty. The list goes on.
If she asks something about it, I'm going to turn her down, so don't worry.
Oh, how unfortunate. That's how everything came to an end. I didn't have to deal with my sister-in-law anymore. A few weeks later, the doorbell rang. I was surprised by who was at my door.
I'm so sorry for my wife's actions. Rie, apologize.
I'm sorry. My sister-in-law's husband was apologizing while she sat there with a resting bitch face.
I heard what happened from your husband. Apparently she had been pretty crazy while I was away on a business trip.
Oh, it's okay. We really only accept once, so...
Work has calmed down, so I'll make sure she doesn't do anything like this again. Also, hey, Yuka. You wanted to give her something, right?
Auntie Mina, thank you for the bento. It was so cute and it tasted good too. I made this at school. I want you to have it.
Wow, it's so cute! A kitty! You made it with origami? You're so good at that. My niece was so happy to give me her gift. I felt that making her bento, even just for a day, was worth it.
I cannot believe that she was out fooling around while leaving Yuka at my parents' house.
He left after dropping that bomb.
After rethinking what was going on, I realized how insane her behavior was. I'm so sorry for him.
He seemed to really understand what was going on finally, and I felt a little better about him. Yeah, it's their problem now. Hey Yuya, how about we start thinking about our own kids, huh? I was a little jealous after seeing Yuka. If he was kinder than before, then we would be able to have a wonderful family. I was excited for the future again.
Thanks for watching! Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Bye!